Ramsey, New Jersey, the kind of town where nothing much ever happens. But on Monday, May 1st of this year, something frightening did. Most of the people involved have returned to help us reconstruct the events of that spring morning. Conductor Anthony Falzer was on a short haul from New York to New Jersey with his engineer, Richard Campana.
We had 19 loaded cars, one engine. We were eastbound on New Jersey Transit, approaching Ramsey.
Kate Pritchard was just returning home from doing errands in town.
My usual deal on Monday mornings is to do my grocery shopping, so I packed up the kids in the car and we went to the grocery store and came home. I guess it was about 11:15 when we came home.
When Kate and her husband Gary were looking for a safe neighborhood in which to raise a family, this place had seemed perfect.
There we go. Come on, the pan.
We live in a cul-de-sac with many, many children, and they're always playing out there. Knowing that they're not allowed in the woods, knowing that they're not allowed to even go near the train tracks at all.
Kate trusted her older son Todd to look after his younger brother Scott while she took the groceries into the house.
There is such an amazing difference between these two boys. Todd has always been very cautious and more intense. I mean, since he was little, if you told him, don't touch that because you will be hurt if you do, he wouldn't. And then there's Scott. I think if I had Scott first, I probably wouldn't have had another one until Scott was in college. He's fearless. He's just basically fearless.
And the tracks are temptingly close, less than 300 feet from the Pritchard family home.
We always had a fear of the tracks. In the back of your mind, you always think, God, I just hope these kids always learn that they never should go there.
But on this morning, they did. 1.5-year-old Scott and 3-year-old Todd made their way through the woods to play on the tracks just beyond.
I saw something moving, and it moved like something alive, not like wind blowing something or, something like that. Tony, what the hell is that? Whatever it was, we were going to hit.
When that train whistle I guess the engineer just let his hand down on that whistle and it just kept blowing. I just had this horrible gut feeling that something was definitely wrong with the boys.
The train was slowing down, but it didn't appear to me that we were going to stop in time.
I could not get out there fast enough. I mean, those legs of mine just moved not fast enough. And I got out to the end of the driveway, and the whole time I was running out there, I was screaming for Todd, just screaming out his name.
I lost view from the front of the engine. I can't see directly down in front of me.
The wide snow plow on the front of the train had only 12 inches of clearance. Even with the brakes on, the weight of the 250-ton train carried it more than 100 feet past where the boys were playing on the tracks.
As soon as the train stopped, I jumped off to see what happened, to see if Tony was all right. I thought the little boy was killed.
Rich, go back and call the dispatcher. Tell me the police and an ambulance. Okay. I just remember seeing the snowplow, the locomotive hit the smallest child in the head. I just automatically thought that this kid had severe head injuries.
Oh my God, what happened?
Anthony Falzer was screaming at me to go call an ambulance. I wanted him to go get the ambulance, but at that point, I just knew that someone had to go get help.
At 11:05 a.m., the call for help came in. 15-year veteran Glenn Karpovich was the first officer on the scene.
When I heard the call, I expected the worst. Normally, a person involved with a train to any degree, it's a
fatal accident.
I dialed my husband, and I said, Scott was hit by a train. And I said, and just get home as fast as you can. I did not know the danger of at what state this baby was in. Blood was coming from his nose, and from his mouth, and the top of his head. And they said, we got to get you to the hospital. And I said, please just wait a few more minutes for my husband, knowing that if he got there and saw us gone, the poor guy would have just fallen apart. I wanted him there with me.
And you're running all these kind of scenarios. What happened? How could this happen? What went wrong? What was he doing there? Where was everybody?
When the paramedics arrived, Scott was taken to the hospital for examination.
All right, let's go in the front. We're going to leave. She'll be all right. She'll be fine.
After 6 stitches on the forehead and 7 on the chin, Scott was released. Miraculously, neither boy was seriously injured.
My only thing to say to other mothers is that if you're living in a situation where you have train tracks near you, or you're living by a busy road, don't wait for something like this to occur before you put up a fence. If it had turned the other way and I had gotten to those train tracks and it had Anthony Faldo hadn't been on that train, or it hadn't gone the way it did, I probably would have laid down and waited for the next train.
It snapped my priorities in line in like 20 seconds, where, you know, you get so wrapped up in the day-to-day, the success thing with your business and to providing for your family and this, and all of a sudden it was just like, whew, there is nothing but the family.
All right, let's see if we can hit one all the way back by those guys.
Well, we've basically adopted a conductor. I told Gary he has to put an extension on the house. We now have a third son, and he's become a big part of our lives, and he will always be a big part of our lives.
I think we've become very close. And I think that's the best reward of everything. I don't have any children, so it made me see that we tend to overlook things because a lot of people tend to be so concerned about themselves. And I said, well, if I was killed and the 2 children lived, that's the way I would have wanted it, because I'm 35 years old. I've done a lot in my life, and I still have a lot of my life left, but these children have their entire life left.
My first impression looking at the car was, it's hard to believe that anyone come out of that car alive.